We're in the attention economy and business is booming.
That's right. I'm Brandon from Screen Love Affair, and welcome back to my torture dungeon. And we're here to talk about Faces of Death, the 2026 version, because believe it or not, the original version of this movie is in this movie, and the history behind it is kind of fascinating considering what this movie's about. And we're going to talk all about it. It's going to be a spoiler-free quick review. On the Hardometer scale, I would actually say I love the movie. I thought it was a lot better than the average horror flick you see these days. And it's just really nice to see like a straightforward slasher that also has a bit of that commentary on social media without it being too annoying. When I originally saw this movie trailer, I thought it was just going to be something more occult and deal with essentially like live leaks or beheading videos, like this was something you would stumble upon as a teenager in the early 2010s or 2000s, finding stuff online you shouldn't. And if anything, it's the opposite, where it is not some ethereal thing. It is just one creepy dude doing a classic slasher bit through this lens of the modern social media age. I feel like I've been getting kind of tired of the contemporary or horror movies where, you know, the ghost or the possession or the monster is thematically tied to grief or trauma. You know, it's nice just to have a straight up slasher for once. And I wouldn't say it was very refreshing or fresh, but it definitely wasn't slow and boring. And outside that first 20-30 minutes where they're setting up kind of the rules and the backstory, I found the pacing to be pretty decent overall. As I was mentioning, this is technically a reboot of the Faces of Death movie, and it's done in a bit of a meta way. It does have some Scream vibes as far as being kind of commentary, a little meta, but also just being like a genuinely fun slasher with a very creepy, I hope to say iconic killer with a very simple amount of mask and makeup. Like, he's got these contact lenses that absolutely work, and if you've seen some of the posters and promotional materials, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This guy right here, thought it was great. To quickly summarize the plot of this movie, I would say that it is a social media cat and mouse game where our protagonist, Barbie Fiera, is scrolling through her day job moderating content at some sort of really dingy data center, kind of like the Meta in this movie, like, you know, the Facebook company. She's sitting at this desk, basically like ISIS beheading videos and live leak videos all day, trying to call what is considered acceptable content. It's content that you can't tell if it's real or not. That was the big draw to Faces of Death, the original movie. You weren't sure if it was actual snuff film or not. And apparently, according to the movie and a lot of like people who were around when this came out in the 70s, that's like the whole draw was, it was like, are you watching a weird experimental film or are you actually watching things get killed on screen? And I thought that was a fascinating way to do it by rebooting it with this online ecosystem and seeing it get traction the more controversial it got. Again, the meta commentary on both Meta, the Facebook company, and the actual dwellings of the movie, I thought was done just hastily enough where it didn't seem too on the nose. And the moments where it does get a little on the nose, maybe near the end in like a final monologue, it actually made me realize that this was based on pre-existing movie IP. So that was kind of funny. I think Barbie Fiera was actually a really good casting call. I think she did a decent job in this movie, and she definitely earned some Scream Queen final girl chops near the end of the film. The only thing I've seen her really in is the first season of Euphoria. So this was nice to see a very authentic and like plus-sized actress being cast in this role. Apparently, she even bulked up a bit for this role because she had to go up against Zachary Montgomery. That's right, Billy from Stranger Things is in this movie. And man, honestly, he steals the show. He's my favorite part of this movie. I felt like, man, I really want to see this guy more. He was given real Christian Bale / Patrick Bateman, American Psycho vibes at some points. If Jake Gyllenhaal's too expensive to cast in some sort of creepy, jacked guy thriller movie, like a Nightcrawler 2, let's say, that would be perfect casting. I want to see Zachary Montgomery in Nightcrawler 2 if that ever comes about. He really brought the antagonistic role to a peak, and I really like seeing his kind of personality shift and his motivations, and these little mannerisms he had really, really worked for me without giving anything away. As a content creator and a content consumer, I don't think I've related to both the main characters so hard in this movie. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The way he interacts on social media, and they play a bit of a cat and mouse game, I thought was really fun. I talked about the Stranger Things casting for him, and there's definitely some scenes and score choices that felt very Stranger Things. The suburban house that some of the movie takes place in, there's at least one establishing shot where I swear they had a score piece lifted straight from Stranger Things. Very synthy and vibey and creepy, all those great buzzwords. On a technical level, I gotta say, I think I really enjoyed some of the lighting lighting and set dressing for the movie. Her kind of artsy, grungy apartment that she lives in with her best friend was really nice. It reminded me a lot of my friend Jack's apartment. It's very well dressed and stylized with, cool art pieces everywhere. And it just felt like really real and lived in, and made sense for a character who's got a bit of a dead-end job working in like rural Louisiana or something, a 7-hour drive away from where the serial killer web content creator lived. And it was nice kind of how they had this one shot that was like a split screen with parallel action, just kind of fun, peppy editing, and also, again, lighting. It wasn't super overlit. It didn't feel like a very generic streaming movie. It felt, again, very grungy and lived in when it needed to be, and I really like that. It actually has a very similar vibe to the movie American Sweatshop with Lily Reinhart. Feels like those Hollywood movies where they have like the identical plot, but they deliver a different experience, and this is definitely that when you compare Faces of Death 2026 to American Sweatshop. American Sweatshop had a woman in Florida. Female protagonist works at a sketchy data center where she moderates content. She has a wacky co-worker. She has a crappy boss who is okay with letting lewd stuff go on the internet. Our protagonist, played by Barbie Ferreira, is basically doing the same thing for the first third of the movie, I would say. And it was definitely a lot more engaging. And part of that is because she has more skin in the game. She actually has a backstory and a reason to do this. And I felt like it was a lot narratively stronger for doing a very similar themed movie. I thought the Faces of Death movie VHS that they showed in the actual film was a like art department generated prop kind of thing. And turns out that was real. And it was nice to go down the rabbit hole after the movie to kind of piece all the history together and make that on the nose stuff near the end kind of land more like the Scream aspect, where it is talking about legacy sequels and reboots and revitalizing stuff for the modern age. So if you're looking for a good Shudder recommendation, definitely check this one out. There's definitely some little plot holes or contrivances in it, or like things that feel a little bit too much like a movie. Like in real life, how would that happen? A guy shooting his gun off in his backyard in Florida, but then again, it is Florida. So I thought that was good. So there is some realism that I found refreshing. And yeah, I don't think I can say much more without spoiling it. So definitely check it out. I really dug this one. I would say watch American Sweatshop, then watch this movie if you want to get more value out of it. I feel like if I didn't see it, I might not be so glowing on reviewing Faces of Death. Thanks for joining me in my basement torture chamber where I do content creation. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want more content like this, check out the Screen Love Affair podcast, which is on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff, where me and my friends Adriana and Shay kind of do a full deep dive and spoiler discussion on movies we really like, usually posted on every Tuesday. Good thing to put on at your dead-end content moderation job or wherever. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you online.